April 17th, President Petro Poroshenko shocked his people with sensational news. During a recent meeting with the Patriarch and Synod of the Patriarchate of Constantinople, he agreed on the creation of a single Autocephalous local church in Ukraine.
Я, як президент, прийняв рішення звернутися до Вселенського Патріарха, до його Всесвятісті, з проханням щодо надання Томасу Української помісної автокефальної церкви. Це не є церковна подія. Це є подія незалежності України.
Upon his arrival in Kiev, Petro Poroshenko met with the heads of the Kiev Patriarchate and the Ukrainian Autocephalous Church, Filaret and Makari, and also demonstrated conciliatory seals from the people who are called bishops of these religious organizations. The president expects the Thomas of Autocephaly will be received from Istanbul as early as late July, on the day of the Rus baptism.
Дуже сподіваюся, що це рішення може бути прийнято до 1030-річчя хрещення України Русі.
Undoubtedly, this statement has caused huge vibrations since Poroshenko and other Ukrainian state officials met regularly with Patriarch Bartholomew, and in 2016 there was even an appeal by the Verkhovna Rada with a request to legitimize the Kiev Patriarchate. However, these actions led to nothing. Nevertheless, this time Poroshenko said that the last meeting, in fact, took place within the framework of the negotiations and lasted more than 7 hours.
Не тільки з ним, а й з членами Синоду. Ми провели загалом більше 7 годин.
One can only wonder at the tight schedule of the president. Indeed, at 1 p.m. on April 9th, Poroshenko's press service announced the talks with the leadership of Turkey had finished. At 4:30 p.m., about the end of the meeting with Patriarch Bartholomew, and as early as in the evening, Petro Poroshenko already arrived in Germany. Still, Poroshenko said that he had fulfilled all the necessary conditions to initiate the process of obtaining autocephaly, namely, a petition of the secular power of the country to the Patriarchate of Constantinople, and an appeal of the Church of the country. Therefore, he is optimistic about the future.
І до його всесвятісті необхідне звернення і керівника держави, і церковних ієрархів. Є абсолютно необхідні ключові елементи, які мають забезпечити цей процес.
However, Petro Poroshenko's statements raise a lot of questions. The president demonstrated a petition to Constantinople on behalf of the structures of the Kiev Patriarchate and the Ukrainian Autocephalous Church. Yet an insoluble problem is that nobody in the Orthodox world considers these structures as the church. They simply do not exist for ecumenical orthodoxy. The only church in Ukraine, all local churches, including Constantinople, is called the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Patriarch Bartholomew, at the meeting of the primates of the local churches in Chambézy in 2016, called the head of the UOC his beatitude to Onufri, the only canonical first hierarch of Ukraine. That means only Metropolitan Onufri, according to the laws of the church, could request autocephaly for the UOC, but he did not. It is interesting that the president in his speech did not even mention about the UOC, as if it does not exist in Ukraine. According to the constitution, the church in Ukraine is separated from the state, and secular power does not have any authority to interfere with its organization.
У нас четко записано, что церковь отделена от государства, так же, как и государство от церкви.
Я бы советовал президенту Порошенко еще раз почитать Конституцию Украины. Он гарант Конституции. Там совершенно четко сказано, у нас церковь отделена от государства. И политики не имеют никакого права вмешиваться в дела церковные.
According to the canonical rules of the First Nicene Council, only one church can act in one territory. By the way, the Archbishop of Constantinople, Patriarch Job Getcha, staying in Ukraine in 2016 at the invitation of Poroshenko, said that Constantinople does not plan to create another parallel jurisdiction in Ukraine because such a non-canonical situation will only exacerbate the problem. As a case in point, the Archbishop cited an example with the Bulgarian church, where schism, with the help of the local churches, was healed by the repentance of schismatics themselves. Petro Poroshenko was not the first president to try to legitimize the schismatics of Ukrainian Orthodoxy. In 2008, President Yushchenko was trying hard to solicit the recognition for the Kiev Patriarchate from Constantinople, but without success. In fact, at that time it was about the structure of the UOCKP being incorporated into the Constantinople Patriarchate, and these are thousands of parishes. Nevertheless, even then Patriarch Bartholomew turned such a prospect down. Now it's no longer a matter of becoming part of Constantinople. The president said that this new formation will be completely independent.
Церкву євхаристійну, молитовно поєднану з іншими помісними церквами, але адміністративно аж ніяк не залежно ані від Москви, ані від кого іншого.
It can be safely said that in case of recognition of Ukrainian schismatics by Constantinople, without any repentance of the former, other local churches will subject Patriarch Bartholomew to pejorative criticism up to the breaking of Eucharistic communion. After all, Constantinople is only one of the parts of one ecumenical Orthodox Church, and if one of its parts recognizes Ukrainian schismatics, this means that all the others will be obliged to accept it. And if they accept a new church into their family, they must also pray to all of its saints. For example, the UPA soldiers who killed Poles during the Volyn massacre. The Kiev Patriarchate consecrates temples in their honor.
І ось цю любов ми сьогодні проявили до воїнів УПА, де заклали храм, назвавши на їхню честь, назвавши і причисливши їх до лику святих, всіх святих землі української. І хай приймають сейми яке хоч рішення, а наші герої для нас залишаться героями завжди. І сьогодні, і завжди, і на віки віків.
Does the ecumenical patriarch have the motivation for triggering such a large-scale conflict for the sake of the dubious pleasure of gratuitously recognizing dissenters and, moreover, giving them autocephaly? The question deserves to be asked. In the same year of 2008, Philaret seemed to be ready to become part of the Church of Constantinople, but then decided he'd better remain an unrecognized Patriarch of Kiev than comply with the decrees from Istanbul. Since then, he has claimed that the local church should not obey either Moscow or Constantinople.
Що значить помісна? Помісна – це значить незалежна автокефальна церква, яка не підпорядковується ніякому центру. Ні Москві, ні Константинополю, ні.
Now, when they are talking about the creation of a new structure, the question is raised about its new leader.
Формування нової церкви означатиме, що патріархи, так, тобто, що єпископи, вони самі будуть шукати спосіб, як вони будуть обирати свого нового настоятеля церкви.
Some time ago, Philaret would never let this post to anyone, but at the age of 90, it will be very difficult. Does he need such a commotion at this age? The question deserves to be asked. The president who created an autocephalous church, even with a scandal, is a huge and perhaps the only plus for the millionaire leader whose country has been in war for 4 years, with the economy collapsing and part of the population barely surviving. For the leader who claims a second term of his reign.
Остался год до выборов. И президенту, видимо, нечему говорить о своих успехах. Он решил поспекулировать немножко на церковной теме.
Poroshenko asserts that the new church will not be state-run, but immediately puts the local church in the same row of political state projects like the visa-free regime or NATO.
І для мене це справа утвердження незалежної помісної церкви такої ж ваги, як здобуті безвіз, угода про асоціацію з Євросоюзом, як наша спільна з вами боротьба за членство в Євросоюзі та членство в НАТО, які ще попереду.
The consequences will be very hard. The pressure on the UOC will multiply. Her faithful will be positioned as agents of the Kremlin as opposed to true Ukrainians from the single local church. Vice Premier Pavel Rosenko has already allowed himself to call the critics of the Slok project pro-Kremlin canned food. For sure, the question will be raised of resubordination to the new structure of all three Lavras, as well as of individual parishes. Bishops and parish priests will be agitated or simply forced to transfer to the Ukrainian church. How will this affect the world and the whole of Ukrainian society, already split, without adding this? We know that the bloodiest conflicts in world history are connected with religion. One of the most notorious is the massacre of Huguenots committed by French Catholics in 1572. This massacre occurred on the night of August 24, 1572, on the eve of St. Bartholomew's Day. Accordingly, it was called Bartholomew's Night. Ironically, one of the main figurants of the present plot also bears the name of this saint. At one time, President Poroshenko wanted to finish with ATO within a few hours.
Антитерористична операція не може і не буде тривати 2-3 місяці. Вона має і буде тривати години.
The war has been going on for 4 years now. Now, the president states that his new initiative will strengthen the interconfessional peace in Ukraine. However, will the interference of the authorities in church affairs in reality cause a new confrontation in Ukraine? The question deserves to be asked.